Welcome back to Save the Good Girl, the SOE edition. And SOE is shot of Erica, kind of like a shot of an espresso. I'll give you guys bonus episodes every week, in addition to the full episodes, like the full meal that you'll get at the end of the week. And on this episode, we're going to talk about friends with benefits. Let's talk about friends with benefits because I got some things to say. Let's get into it. We will get back to this fabulous episode, but I just wanted to let you know that you can find Save the Good Girl on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and YouTube. There is also a chance for you to be featured on the show. Check out the link in the description to send me a voice message. In addition to the podcast, did you know that Save the Good Girl has a blog? Be a part of VIP by subscribing to the email list on SaveTheGoodGirl.com. So many options to stay connected. All right, let's get back to the episode. Here's the thing. I think friends with benefits work if your emotional capacity allows it to work. And I'm not judging anyone who decides to have friends with benefits. Do what you got to do. I am not in charge of your vagina or your penis. You do what you got to do. I'm going to talk about my feeling towards it. And again, your decision, do what you got to do. So I feel like with friends with benefits, there's certain things we got to actually think about. And I think for a lot of people, when you have friends with benefits, you're not thinking that you need to think much, right? Because this person is providing a service. And, they're providing a service, they're giving you a little tune-up. And then you go about your business and you go home, and there's not supposed to be emotions attached or feelings attached, not supposed to happen. However, friends with benefits have now formed what we call situationships, if you will. And it kind of gives this gray, rocky area of, yeah, we kind of were messing around, but I think I like you. I think you're kind of cool. And I kind of like what we do. So why not be together, So it kind of forms in that way. And I feel like this is something you could talk about for hours because there's so many different opinions. The way that I feel about it is I feel like when you want something a little bit more serious, when you want something a little bit more solid, it's not about the physical part with friends with benefits because you can mess around with somebody, have an orgasm, and go home. It's more so about the mind part. The fact that when you do go home, this person is not your person. They're not. You cannot get mad at them if they don't call you for a week or two. You can't. You can be concerned, you can be annoyed, but if they don't have that obligation to do anything. You can't really talk to them about your dreams and aspirations. And if you do, that's cool, but then you're kind of going down another route. You're not in the friends with benefits zone. If you start talking about dreams and aspirations and, I had a bad day today, let me tell you, and you guys are really getting to that spectrum, it kind of changes what friends with benefits actually are. And yes, I know, I get it, right? But we friends, you're not. I'm sorry. I don't think so. I feel like, once you cross that zone, it changes things. I had a friend till this day. That's something that I wish we never crossed that line because I really loved him as a friend. I really loved him as a friend. And I felt like things got a little rocky once we crossed that line. And I never knew he felt that way about me in that way. I would talk to him all day and all night and never ever felt any romantic feelings ever. And I don't know, one day he just was like, when the sister, he was really on me. And I'm like, huh? We were homies. And I think after we crossed that line, it just kind of made the relationship really awkward. We got into a really bad argument, and we never kind of came back from that. We never came back. And to this day, I regret it because I really did love him as a friend. He was really a friend to me. So for that to be gone, I was like, damn, yo. So I feel like when you're at that place too, where you want a little bit more, your mind and your body and your soul cannot handle friends with benefits. And what I mean by that is you're too emotional and you're too sensitive for a situationship or a fuck buddy. It's just a little too much on the soul. It's too much on the heart. And again, the physical part is fine. That's easy. You come over, I come over, we do what we got to do, we go home. That's not, that's easy. It's the more like emotional effects after that. Like for me, I felt like I'm doing this with this person and you're not mine. Like I'm not building with you. I'm not growing with you. I don't consider you to be anything. You're not my king. You're not who God promised me in John 3:16 and John 3:17, because, John 3:16 says, like, for God loved the world that he gave his only son. Jesus did not die on the cross for me to be this heartbroken. I'm just saying he did not. Okay? He did not die on the cross for me to be this sad. So I feel like I'm at this place where my emotional capacity can't handle it. And that's why I'm just not in that realm, because I can't. And it's going to get me upset. It's going to frustrate me because I want more. And I feel like when you do want more, that's when friends with benefits becomes situationships. It becomes complicated because originally, when you signed up for the basic plan, you got basic shit. But now you want to go to premium. It don't just work like that. And when you want to go to premium, there's a price to pay. Basic and free is there for a reason, right? So if you want to evolve in the type of person that you want, there is a price to pay. It's patience. It's the idea of, damn, do I really need to be like alone, or can I play around? And I feel like with friends with benefits, you have to know your emotional capacity. If you can play around, play. If you're not affected like that, cool. But I have seen more often than the other side that a lot of people emotionally cannot handle it. They cannot, because once they start liking you or what y'all doing is a little too fun and you're like, I really like this person, all of a sudden, the little things they do that never bothered you really pisses you off now. The text messages, they used to hit you up every Saturday, but they don't hit you up until, Tuesday or Wednesday, or sometimes not at all. And now you're pissed, because you're like, wait. And that's when it starts to shift, because you're like, damn, I think I like this person. Then you start rationalizing, well, he does have a good job and he knows the Lord. I mean, he is a nice person. I actually like him. Maybe this could work. And what happens sometimes is the other person is like, listen, this is not the contract we signed. Okay? This is not what we signed up for. So I feel like friends with benefits become very tricky when one person is ready to advance and the other is willing to stay in the friends with benefit zone. So if you're both in that place, and then it evolves, because sometimes relationships form by friends with benefits, but I feel that it can only form when both parties have that revelation together. Okay? If one person is like, nah, I'm good, and the other person is like, nah, I want to do this, that's friction. It's too complicated and it becomes a fight. But if y'all both were like chilling with each other, mad cool, y'all messed around and then y'all saw the light and was like, we need to be together. Like, this actually could work. Great. But the reality is not every relationship or friends with benefits, not every FWB ends up like that. So I feel like before you get into that situation, you need to kind of gauge, where are you emotionally? Can you handle that? Are you okay with this person coming in and going as they please? Because they can. They don't owe you an explanation. They don't owe you like, well, you need to call me no, they don't. They do not. So I feel like when you know that I can't handle, this is allergy season, so excuse the sniffles, and I don't know, like, first of all, I didn't even think I have allergies, but then people tell me I do, so maybe I do. I don't know. Like, I mean, my doctor said I'm allergic to dogs if they get to my face, but like, all the sniffles is just not cute. Let me get a little. I don't get it. Anyways, it really becomes complicated when you do not know what you want. It becomes complicated when you are letting someone else make a decision for you in that case. And the last episode we talked about decisions. So now this one, what I mean by that is, let's say you do want a relationship, but you decide to just kind of go along because this person said that they didn't want a relationship. And you're like, all right, I'm cool with it because I don't want one right now, right? So I guess I can just kind of like talk to you for a little bit. Or I can also have a friends with benefits while I wait for my man. Tricky. Because I feel like at that point, you may possibly be blocking your blessing because you out here fraternizing with people that may or may not, depending on if y'all both on the same page. But if you're not, yeah, you kind of like blocking it from actually coming to you. So I feel like sometimes, you need to really gauge if you can handle it. And if you can, more power to you, seriously. Because I think at a certain point, at my younger age, I don't think I cared that much. You know why, though? My expectations were a lot different. 22, out here, could drink, could drive. I'm with my friends. We having a great time, and I wasn't really, serious. Not really. Not really. So it didn't affect me until it did. And then it was like, there was one guy that I was talking to for like 6-7 years. And it's like, it just dragged. And I'm like, okay, this is too much. Like, you just keep kind of popping up. Like, no, like he really was a home theater popcorn bag. Cause I felt like he just kept popping on up and it's like, boy, you gotta go. So I think after these experiences, I was just like, I don't think this is something that I emotionally can handle anymore. Maybe I could change my mind or whatever, but as of right now, I don't think so. And I feel like if you are in a friends with benefits situation, really gauge, like, how are you really? Like, how do you really, really feel about this? Because I also think people utilize friends with benefits to disguise the hurt. Being single is not easy. We will get to that in a fuller episode. So it's not easy. So, here you have this person who is giving you attention, who is kissing you in the right places, and who checks up on you once in a while. And you hear testosterone or estrogen on the other line. And it feels nice. But it's not. It's like artificial flavored food. Like, no one ever says, oh my God, I went to McDonald's and had the best McChicken of life. No, you may like it, but it's not something to brag about. It's not like that home cooked dinner that was simmering in the fridge, the meat and the shrimp or whatever. And it was just getting all the flavors, and now you can brag about that, like Thanksgiving dinner. I want Thanksgiving dinner. Sometimes the McChicken is okay, but I really don't want a Hot Pocket, So I feel like when it comes to friends with benefits, really think about where are you emotionally, for real? Like, put all the bullshit to the side, put all the disguise to the side, put all the horniness to the side, put that to the side for a little bit and really think about, where are you though? Like, how do you really feel? And what do you really want? If you can handle it, like I said, great. But if you're at that place where you're like, I'm not sure, think twice. Think twice. And also think twice if you really do have a solid friendship with someone, unless you guys are both on that page of growing to something more serious. Think about that too, because I miss my friend. I do. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that because it kind of really changes how I view things. And listen, I know people who are doing what they got to do and they're okay, at least from what I've been told. I don't know what tears y'all people are crying behind the scenes, so from what I know, they're okay. And there are many people who are okay. I'm really speaking to those who want a little bit more, and the friends with benefits is just not satisfactory. It's not satisfying at all. It does a little bit, like it eases it for a little bit, but it doesn't give you that, like, yeah, this is good. This is really good. This is something I'm going to grow and build with, you know? So just want to share my thoughts on that. Tell me what you think. What do you think about friends with benefits? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you feel like it's not really about emotions? It's just really about getting your orgasm and going home? Uh, like, how do you feel about that? I'm so happy you guys are back listening to Save the Good Girl. Like, remember to check in every week because I am posting episodes every week and communicate with me. There's so many ways to find me. And I will talk to you next week. I'm your host, Erica. Talk to you guys very, 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 very soon. Bye. I feel like we're connecting, so let's make sure we're connected. You can find Save the Good Girl on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Did you know about the Save the Good Girl blog? Yes, there is a blog. Check out SaveTheGoodGirl.com to subscribe to the fabulous VIP email list and be the first to know about new podcast episodes, new blog posts, and giveaways. In addition to listening to Save the Good Girl on many platforms like Apple, Google, Spotify, and many more, you can also subscribe to the Save the Good Girl YouTube channel if YouTube is more of your thing. There are so many options to stay connected and be a part of the Save the Good Girl community. For all updates, or if you just want to contact me to say hello, ask me a question, or send me a comment, check out the contact section on SaveTheGoodGirl.com.